Russian man like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just the brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my psyche.
The moment that Borutoshiki destroyed Sasuke's Rinnegan, it caught everyone by surprise. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody except for Gar, that is. Gar warned Sasuke during the 5 Kage summit that it wasn't too late to turn back from walking down the path of darkness, with hatred being the guiding light for his eyes. He knew that nothing good would ever come from seeking power in the darkness. However, Sasuke didn't listen. His response is that I have long since closed my eyes. What I seek lies only in the darkness. 16 years after Sasuke uttered those words, the consequences of his actions were manifested in the most ironic of ways when his Rinnegan was destroyed. Power born out of darkness can never exist in the light. It eventually disappears, which is exactly what happened to Sasuke's Rinnegan. It was always going to end up this way, and Gar's warning to Sasuke shows us why. He tried to talk Sasuke out of walking through the darkness to gain power, but Sasuke ignored him and continued to strengthen his ocular powers through hatred until he was given the Rinnegan. However, this eye that was given to him by Hagoromo was done so when Sasuke's heart was at its darkest. His vision for the world was that of a scorched earth, where the current 5 Kage were executed. Naruto Uzumaki was killed at his hands, and the Biju were destroyed after he used them to release the infinite Tsukiyomi. The mighty power of the Rinnegan was power that he gained when his eyes were focused on the darkness. Sasuke gained that power with the intention of being a god of destruction, passing judgment across the world. Power that is acquired through means such as this always comes with a price, and it never lasts forever. Though Sasuke is now a redeemed soul, someone who serves the village from afar, battling countless threats, earthbound as well as in other dimensions, he did so wielding the power that he was granted when his soul was corrupted by darkness. The sins that come from walking in the darkness don't ever get washed away completely, and in some cases they don't get washed away until blood is spilled in return. For Sasuke, the light of his young student, Boruto Uzumaki, someone he watched grow into a fine shinobi, that young and bright light was being corrupted by the very darkness that Sasuke left behind all those years ago. Boruto's light was being poisoned by Momoshiki Otsutsuki, and the moment that Momoshiki forced Boruto to destroy Sasuke's Rinnegan, it was destined to happen. It was Sasuke who brought Boruto to the battlefield to rescue Naruto. It was Sasuke who took a young innocent child and put him into the crosshairs of the Otsutsuki that would eventually give Boruto the Karma Seal that would cement not just the fate of Boruto, but Sasuke's Rinnegan as well. Prior to being around Boruto for an extended period of time, Momoshiki only saw Boruto as mere fodder, not giving him a second glance during the Chunin exams. However, upon being around Boruto for an extended period of time, Momoshiki realized that Boruto wasn't just fodder. He was a vessel who could be used to revive him later on, a vessel that had those strong Hyuga clan genetics and had the potential to awaken the Jogan. Momoshiki could return stronger than ever before. What began as an innocent desire to give a student real battle experience and a chance to watch high-level shinobi battle a threat beyond Kaguya had transformed into a cruel joke that was being played by fate. Years after Sasuke gained his mighty Rinnegan, walking in the darkness, and years after his friend Naruto shone light into that darkness to illuminate the path that Sasuke now walks, fate has chosen to have the son of that man who saved Sasuke to be the one who permanently destroyed Sasuke's Rinnegan. That power that manifested while he had evil intentions but grew to use it to protect those who he loved, that power was now taken away from him for good. It was fate telling Sasuke, power gained for wicked intentions cannot be allowed to exist, even if it's meant to be used to serve the greater good. In the cruelest of ways, fate has now left Sasuke unable to protect those very bonds that he once swore to cast aside, because Sasuke at the time didn't see any value in them. His village that he vowed to destroy, his best friend who he vowed to kill, his wife who he turned his back on several times when they were younger. The bonds that he saw no value to in the past, he now had grown to accept. The new bonds via his daughter and via his student. He risked his life in order to protect them time and time again, saving Sarada from Shin Uchiha's attacks and saving Boruto from Ishiki's chakra rods. Both times he was able to save them by using his Rinnegan's Amaina Teijikar to swap places with them. However, now he's unable to do so ever again. Even worse, the threat of the Otsutsuki clan is now greater than ever before. He's unable to use his Rinnegan to enter into their dimensions to stay ahead of the Sasuke clan threat and track down the 10 tails that Code is hiding. Power that he gained through hatred and now wielded out of love to protect those who are precious to him. That power he relied on for so long is no longer able to be used. Everything that Sasuke holds dear, he's unable to keep it safe. For the first time in a long time, Sasuke is vulnerable. The boy who lost everything on the night of the Uchiha massacre is now a man staring down that same possibility yet again. Is fate putting Sasuke in the same position he was in 25 years ago when he was 7 years old? If Sasuke were to lose everything, which path would he take? Will he give into his cursed Uchiha clan blood and enter into the darkness yet again? Or will he rise above that bloodlust to show that he truly has changed? Fate has a weird way of testing the resolve of men like Sasuke Uchiha, who say that they've been changed for the better. In the classic Shonen Jump series Rurouni Kenshin, Kenshin Himura was known as Batosai the Manslayer. Blood of many stained his blade as he fought through the war. However, after he vowed to never kill again, fate would test him numerous times by having the ghost of his past pop back up, even going so far as to mentally shatter him by making him see the dead body of his lover Karu, just to see which road he would take. Would he become a manslayer once again, or would he uphold his vow to never kill, or would he become too broken to do either? He would be forced to battle the representation of his greatest sin by battling the brother of his dead wife, who died at his hands and is responsible for Kenshin's oath to never kill. That same oath will be put to a test now. Sasuke Uchiha is in the same position that Kenshin was in. He's being positioned to lose everything, and fate is curious to see which road he takes. His current power isn't enough to bring down foes like Code, Ada, and Damon, cyborgs who were created by Amato to be stronger than Jigen, a man who effortlessly took down Sasuke. Sasuke has only gotten weaker since he fought Jigen, and Sasuke's greatest weapon in protecting his family, the Rinnegan space-time travel, he's unable to protect them by being proactive, seeking out the threats before they could arrive. Should Sasuke lose one of his precious loved ones, how will he react? Will he do as he said in the Sasuke Sunrise novel, where he stated losing a loved one might cause him to fall back into the darkness because he feared he would never escape that bloodlust of the Uchiha clan? Fate heard those worries from a man desperately seeking to redeem himself of his past, and now fate wants to see the truth for itself. How will a man who has everything to lose react when he's placed in a position to where he's unable to protect those bonds that give him his sole reason to live? In a way, it's the curse of the Uchiha clan's blood. They love hard, but the death of those they love triggers the madness inside of them that becomes the Mangekyo Sharingan. Taking the eyes of a close relative who has the Mangekyo gives them the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Love and sorrow, it goes hand in hand for those who are born in the Uchiha clan. Fate is now testing Sasuke to see if he's truly broken the cycle of hatred and risen above the curse of his clan by taking away his ability to protect those who he loves. If he fails this test that's given to him by fate, then Sasuke will once again fall into the darkness. His Sharingan will go stronger as it taps into the power of his heart, rapidly increasing his strength, and that hatred produced into his heart will fuel this new power, but it will come at the expense of Sasuke's soul. Relying on something so harmful is dangerous. It's too dangerous of a risk to take, which is why Sasuke will have to confront the dangers of Code, Ada, and Damon head on without the hatred in his heart. Their existence serves as a test by fate, meant to prepare him for his ultimate test. If his student Boruto is unable to be saved from being turned into an Otsutsuki, can Sasuke still save his student like he vowed? It's a tougher question than it seems when you look at it at face value, especially given that Naruto, Boruto's own father, vowed to kill Boruto before he became full-blood Otsutsuki. But can Sasuke really sit by and watch as his best friend is forced to do something no parent could ever be asked to do, which is take the life of the child who they brought into this world? Will Sasuke be the one who has to deal out that finishing blow onto Boruto, both to save his student as well as to save his best friend from that heartbreak that comes from having to kill their child? With each day, Boruto's body gets closer and closer to resurrecting Momoshiki, a being who Sasuke would have to fight without his Rinnegan powers if this happened. And this Momoshiki will be even stronger than the one he fought prior, armed not just with Boruto's body, but Boruto's Jogan as well as Boruto's knowledge as a shinobi. Before, if Sasuke killed Boruto, the Rinnegan offered him the possibility to use the outer path to exchange Boruto's life for his own life. But that option of sacrifice isn't on the table anymore. Fate has taken that off of the table. Fate has positioned Sasuke to be forced to potentially kill his own student, but do so without having hatred in his heart, and instead have love fuel his actions. However, is Fate really done with Sasuke Uchiha, or does Fate have one final experiment to play on Sasuke? He's already lost one of his eyes that he gained in the darkness. Could he lose his other eye, the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan? Could it be closed for good as well to satisfy Fate's curiosity to see if Sasuke's truly been redeemed? After all, power born through a twisted union of darkness and hatred can't coexist with a man whose soul has been cleansed through basking in the light of others. Could Fate be positioning Sasuke to die at the hands of his student, Boruto Uzumaki, whose body would be controlled by Momoshiki? Is that why Boruto has the scar on his eye during the time skip? Did Sasuke try to free his student of the Otsutsuki curse by killing him? And did the man who rediscovered how to love find himself hesitating when tasked with killing the student who he'd grown to love? Is that why Boruto carries not just the sword of his mentor, but also wears his cloak? Did Sasuke's remaining eye get closed for good, as his tortured soul departed from his body? Was that what Fate had planned for Sasuke? Are the eyes that gained their power from darkness destined to be closed for good, in order to pay for damning the soul of his student by putting him in a position to get the karma seal? Or is Fate willing to accept the penance of a man who once gained power through darkness but wishes to use that power to serve those who live in the light? However, that's gonna be it for my video today, guys. So do you agree that Sasuke's Rinnegan getting destroyed was a sign from Fate that power born in darkness can't exist in the light? Is taking Boruto to the battlefield where he would eventually get the karma seal a sin that Sasuke will one day have to pay for? And if so, will it require a soul for a soul? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.